In last session, we learned concept of strategy. Am I correct? In last session, we have learned concept of strategy. Strategy at corporate level and strategy at business unit level. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
And after knowing the concept of strategy, now it is time to know about a responsibility center. I am sharing a PPT on a responsibility center. Yes, can you view my PPT? What it is?
Yes, sir.
What it is? What is the title of PPT? Yes, what is the title of PPT?
Responsibilities centers.
Yes, responsibility centers, correct. Now, responsibility center, any organization unit that is headed by a manager who is responsible for its activities. Now, let us take example. Suppose Videocon company. Under Videocon company, there are several products which are being produced by Videocon. Say, for example, washing machine, color TV, music system, and so on. So, under Videocon brand, washing machine unit, there will be a separate unit for my washing machine, and there is a separate unit for music system. And this each units are headed by a manager. That manager is responsible for that particular unit. This is nothing but it is known as a responsibility center. Now here center means say washing machine center, then music system center, color TV center. These are the various centers, and for each center there is a responsible person which is known as responsible center. Any organization unit that is headed by a manager who is responsible for its activities. Now generally for any manufacturing company, you might be aware that there is not a single unit which is produced by one manufacturing company. There are multiple units. There are multiple units. Am I correct or not? One company, they produces several units. Even if you take example of sugar factory, so sugar factory is producing sugar factory with the byproduct of biases. They are also into the manufacturing of paper. Even milk dairy. So if you take the example of milk dairy, there is a product like say milk, then paneer, maybe shrikhand, ghee, and so on. So one company having multiple products. Are you getting my example? Hello, am I audible? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
So are you getting my example? Milk dairy or Videocon company or sugar factory. These all companies are having multiple products. Do they have multiple product or only single product? Do they have multiple product or single product? Yes, please.
Multiple products.
Multiple products. So for multiple product, one product having a separate unit, and that unit is headed by a manager who is responsible for that activities. Then a responsibility center exists to accomplish one or more purposes known as objective within the organization goals and set of strategies. And last session we have learned the strategy. So strategy, there are two type of strategy: strategy at unit level and strategy at corporate level. Corporate level means for a entire company, that is known as corporate level. And strategy at unit level means that particular unit having separate strategy, but unit level strategy and corporate level strategy, ultimately their goal is at one direction. That never happens, that unit level strategy is totally different than corporate level. It never happens. Corporate level strategy and unit level strategy, both strategies should have at one direction, so that ultimately organization goal can be achieved. And what are the organizational goal, by the way? What are the organizational goal? Yes. What are the organizational goal? Yes, please. What are the goal of organization? Answer me.
Sir, to get more revenue.
Yes, to get more revenue, we can say profit maximization. Okay, that could be a one goal of organization. As you said, more revenue. That is nothing but getting more and more profit. So we can say it is profit maximization. So that is the goal of organization. There is also one more goal, that is wealth maximization. Profit and wealth, these are the two different terms. We cannot say they are the same. Profit is different and wealth maximization is different. So ultimately, suppose if company is having goal of wealth maximization, so at unit level as well as corporate level, that strategy should be formed, so that ultimately we can achieve wealth maximization. So this was the meaning of responsibility center. Maybe during your MCQ examination, multiple choice question, that is online examination, you might be asked, or if it is offline examination, then you might be asked that what do we mean by responsibility center? Explain with appropriate example. So do remember this meaning. Are you clear with the meaning of a responsibility center? Are you clear with this concept of responsibility center, meaning of responsibility center? Yes, please. Are you clear with this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's move ahead. And the next discussion will be different types of responsibility center. Again, from the theory examination point of view, there are questions like, say, discuss the types of responsibility center. Discuss the types of responsibility center, or explain a responsibility center. So for that question, these PPTs are very much essential. Now, to know the types or variety of responsibility center. Now, engineered expense. Now, what is this engineered expense? It has a possibility to estimate the right amount of cost, and that should be incurred to produce a given level of output. Now, this is the technical lines which I have mentioned in my PPT. But I'm very much sure that when these lines are shared with student, it becomes a little bit difficult for them to understand the meaning of engineer expense. Let me tell you in a very layman language. See, in every manufacturing unit, there is input and we expect some output. Input is there or not, or without input you get output. Without input, do you get output?
No, sir, input is needed.
Yes, input is very much essential. So for input is nothing but maybe your raw material, maybe your labors, maybe your machinery method. These are all inputs, and with the help of this input, we process material, we process the labors which are put by skilled workers. So we process, and ultimately we target for output. We target for. So there is a right amount of cost involved in input. Right amount of, like say, how much material is required. So can you not able to calculate the amount of material? Can you not able to calculate the amount of material? Is it possible or it is not possible? The amount of material?
Sir, it is possible.
It is possible. Now let us take example of say bread making company. Now suppose if you are producing say the bread packet of say 250 gram. So for 250 gram, how much flour is needed, how much sugar is needed, and what are the whatever ingredients are required for producing 250 gram of bread packet. So there is a right amount of cost involved. Maybe flour, then maybe some essence of bread. Once you put this raw material and then you process with the help of machine and with the help of labor. So whatever labor is there, so you know the labor cost also. Labor cost is already decided. Now if skilled labor is there, whatever daily wages is there, maybe 500 rupees a day or whatever it is. So that is being decided. So these are the example of input cost. And with this raw material, with the help of workers, we produce the particular bread size of 250 gram. And then wrapping is done, packing is done. So there is a specific relationship with input and output that happens in engineered expense. There is a perfect relationship between input and output. We can say there is an optimal relationship between input and output. And here I have example, direct material, direct labor, direct material. So right amount of labor, right amount of material, and right amount of quantity of bread. So there is an optimal relationship between input and output. That is known as engineered expense. Even a small percentage may not be missed out. No percentage will be missed out. That is known as engineered expense. Any doubt? Any doubt for the first resources center, that is engineered expense? Yes, please.
No, sir.
So may I go to the next point now? Now,
Yes, sir.
after understanding engineer expenses, now we are trying to understand discretionary expense. Discretionary. Now, in bracket, I also mentioned another word. So in some books, there is word managed cost. So managed cost and discretionary expenses, it is one and the same thing. In layman language, what do you mean by discretionary expenses or managed cost? It is at a person level, it is at a manager level, and managers are given authority to spend on that particular activity. So it is their discretion. It is their discretion. It is known as at their discretion. manager will decide what is to be done and what is not to be done. So that authority which is concentrated at a manager level, that is known as discretionary expenses. And whenever discretionary expenses happens, it is the knowledge which is purchased by that particular manager, experience which manager has. So on the basis of his experience, on the basis of his judgment, he uses or he spend that cost. So when we talk about their experience and about their knowledge, if you change person, the cost will change or the cost will be same. What do you think? If you change person, so the discretionary cost will change or will same? Yes, please think upon and then give me answer.
Sir, can you please repeat the question?
Suppose now, did you understand the meaning of discretionary expenses, which I shared with you? First, you tell me, have you followed the meaning of discretionary expenses?
No, sir, I want to understand again.
Okay, now listen. Discretionary expenses are at a person level, and a person, according to his guess, according to his experience, and according to his knowledge, he is allowed to spend, and he has that authority. That is known as discretionary expenses. Now my question to you, if you change that person, now earlier Mr. A was there, and Mr. A, whatever experience he was having, qualification he was possessing, accordingly he was managing his unit. Now you have replaced Mr. A with Mr. B. Now when you change Mr. A with Mr. B, do you think so that the cost will be the same, or there will be
No, sir.
change in the?
No, sir, the cost will change.
Yes, that is the answer I was expecting from you. The cost will change because you are changing the person, so his judgment will be different. Next person's judgment will be different. His experience is different. Whatever experience he has earned in earlier organization, whatever qualification he possesses, so definitely the cost will change. So that happens with discretionary expenses. So okay. So while writing about discretionary expenses, do write this example. Here I have mentioned example, legal, public relation. Now, in every manufacturing company, there is a legal department. There is a legal department because a lot of disputes are there between labor union and higher management. Sometimes labor unions are very aggressive. Aggressively, they are putting demands of their labors, and top management, senior management is not able to sanction their all demands. So always there are disputes, and then these disputes, what happen? It goes to the at court level also, and then as you know, court takes their own time. Court will not give you an immediate judgment. No court in India will give you immediate result. Then there will be tariq pe tariq, and on the basis of the tariq, the final judgment will be given by court. So it is a long process. Now, a person who is handling your legal department, many times there are some costs which is out of your person control, because there is another level, that is court, which is from the judicial system, which is a part of judicial system. So literally you can't control the outside force. Same happens with public relation. Many companies, they have PRO officer, public relation officer. So what is the job of public relation officer? What is the job of public relation officer? What he does? What is the job of public relation officer? Think upon. I had put up one question to you. What is the job of public relation officer? What he does? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So what he does, public relation officer? Any idea? Yes. What he does? No idea. What is the job performed by PRO, public relation officer? The
Sir,
job
I'm
of, yes, yes. Yes, you are saying something. Yes, please. Unmute yourself and speak out.
Sir, I think corporate communications. I mean, he does corporate communication. Not sure.
Yeah. He does liaison between a company and other authority. Liaison. Liaison means to keep a healthy coordination between company and outside external parties. That is the main task which is performed by public relation officer, because ultimately he has to maintain the healthy relation with outsiders, maybe supplier, maybe customer, maybe government. Are you getting me? Public relation officer maintains healthy relations with government, with customer, with suppliers, and so on. Now, is it clear to you? Understood? May I go to the next center now? After discretionary, may I go to the next center? Yes, please. Am I go to next center? Now, let us go to the next type of responsibility center. The next one is revenue center. Revenue. Now, see, just now we discussed the engineer. After engineer, then we discussed discretionary, and now we are discussing revenue center. Revenue. It is primarily responsible for marketing or selling product or services. Revenue center generally it is responsible for marketing or selling product or services, either product or services. But basically, it is closely connected with marketing. Revenue is measured in monetary terms. Always, as you know, revenue is measured in monetary terms, but not formal attempts are made to relate input to output. Please try to understand this line. It is a little bit tricky line, but not formal attempts are made to relate between input and output. So there is no formal relationship between input and output. Now, for example, whatever amount is spent on the advertisement by company, can you give me guarantee that after spending amount on advertisement, sale will definitely increase? Is there any guarantee? I'm asking
No,
you.
sir, there is no guarantee.
So there is no guarantee. But we assume that because of advertisement, our sale may increase. So making this statement is different, and saying this that if you spend amount on advertisement, your sale will increase. So that may not be a correct. So making expenses on advertisement, definitely you will have to spend money. Now suppose if you are going for TV advertisement, or if you are going for a paper print advertisement, TV advertisement or print advertisement. So finance money is required. Am I correct or not? Money is required for that purpose now. If you are going for TV advertisement, you need to spend money or not, or without money you can advertise your product.
So we need to spend money.
You need to spend money. So monetary terms are there. Okay. But after spending through TV advertisement, there is no guarantee that your service or product will be sold. There is no guarantee. So that is why, but not formal attempts are made to relate input and output. So here there is a one-side revenue. Means you have to have an input, but output you cannot have that formal relationship. There is no formal relationship. There is no optimal relationship between input and output. Whereas in engineer expenses, there is a formal relationship between input and output. Are you getting me? The difference between engineer expense and revenue expenses?
Yes, sir.
So please, now here example I have mentioned, marketing function. Marketing function. Another example, R&D department, research and development department, research and development. Now many times company, they have their own research and development department. Now whatever amount they spend on the research, again there is no guarantee that the product will be liked by their customer. Sometimes in spite of spending on research and development activity, people don't like your product. They don't like your product. But that doesn't mean that you should not have your R&D department. You should not have your research activity. We cannot have that kind of thought in our mind. We need to have research and development department. We need to have marketing department. So this was about revenue center. Please again I repeat, in revenue center, there is no formal relationship between input and output. Please do remember this. And the example is marketing department, research and development department. Are you clear with this concept now? revenue center? Are you clear with this concept? Followed? Any doubt for the revenue center? Any doubt? Please understand
doubt,
this.
it's clear.
Please understand this topic from the examination point of view. 101% there will be question on this responsibility center for 10 marks. There is a question on 10 for 10 marks on responsibility center. Please do not miss this point and remember this discussion which we are having right now. Now, the next center, profit center. After understanding the revenue center, now let us know profit center. Now, what is this profit center? Organization is divided into division. That already we have learned. I have given the example of Videocon company, that TV unit, washing machine unit, music system unit. So these are the different divisions. Organization is divided into division, and each division is treated as profit center. Now, whatever profit is earned by washing machine center, and whatever profit is earned by music system division, and whatever loss is suffered by maybe TV unit, not necessarily that each and every unit will have profit. There are some unit who are incurring losses. Does it happen or not? Or do you think that all units are giving profit? Does this happen in company? Everyone is giving profit, or there might be some unit who are not giving that much profit, or who are suffering from losses. This happens or not? I am expecting an answer from you. Does it happen or not? So organization is divided into divisions.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And
Yes, sir.
each division is treated as profit center. Inputs are measured in terms of expenses. Whatever inputs you are giving, that is nothing but the cost or expenses. And output are measured in revenue. Now, whatever amount you are spending on making a washing machine, that is your input. And then number of washing machine you are expecting. And this number of machines will be sold in the market, and you generate revenue. So again, while selling a washing machine, you are getting money out of that. So money is involved, and in input also money is involved. So there is money in input as well as output. And suppose if your cost, input cost, if it is 75 and output is 100, what is the difference? Input cost is 75 and your output is 100. How much is the difference? Hello? How much is the difference? Input cost is 100. Sorry. Input cost is 75 and output is 100. What is the difference? Answer me. What is the difference? Company is giving input for a washing machine is 75 and one washing machine it is 100. So 175. What is the difference?
25%, sir.
25. So this 25 is this 25. It is what, profit or loss? Your answer is correct, 25. So this 25 is profit or loss? Hello. This 25 is profit or loss? What following example?
Sir, can you please repeat the example?
Suppose in order to manufacture washing machine, your cost is 75, and after spending 75, you have produced one washing machine and the income is 100, output is 100, the difference is 25. So this 25 is profit or loss?
Sir, loss होगा ना, because हमारा जो इन्वेस्टमेंट था मतलब मशीन के लिए वो
आपका
75
जो इनपुट है,
yes
हाँ 75 था और आपका इनकम 100 है, आपका इनकम 100 है,
income
तो
100
difference-
है, okay then
हाँ, तो
25% is profit.
प्रॉफिट तो 25 और वाइस वर्सा. सपोज आपका कॉस्ट है 125, कॉस्ट है आपका 125 और इनकम है 100, तो उसमें आपका लॉस होगा, बराबर ना?
Yes, 25% loss होगा, yes.
लॉस होगा. सो हियर वी आर कंपेयरिंग रेवेन्यू विथ एक्सपेंसेस. एक्सपेंसेस इज नथिंग बट द योर इनपुट कॉस्ट. एक्सपेंसेस का मतलब क्या है? कॉस्ट. कॉस्ट इज नथिंग बट योर इनपुट and revenue is your output. बराबर है ना? Outputs are measured in revenue. Revenues are output and expenses are input. So there is a specific relationship between input and output, and then we calculate whether there is a profit or loss. एक तो profit होगा या तो loss होगा. Am I correct? जैसे मैंने ये आपको example बताया. So this happens with business unit. So example is business unit. So this was about profit center. So let me tell you in short, in profit center, the inputs are given in terms of expenses or cost, and the revenue are also measured in terms of, the outputs are also measured in terms of revenue. Revenue, it is in terms of money only. And this way we calculate profit or loss. The example is business unit. Now, the next slide. This is इन्वेस्टमेंट सेंटर. इन्वेस्टमेंट अभी हमने प्रॉफिट सेंटर के बारे में बात की. नाउ वी आर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट इन्वेस्टमेंट सेंटर. नाउ इन्वेस्टमेंट सेंटर, it considers not only cost and revenue but also assets which are employed in business. So investment center में we do not just think about expenses or cost, but we also think about the investment in the form of assets which are utilized in the business. It is an extension of profit centers. तो ये profit center से भी एक कदम आगे है. In profit center, we just focus on expenses, but in investment center, apart from expenses, we do also consider about the assets which are employed in business. It is an extension of profit center. So here in investment center, second line ROI, that is return on investment, and residual income can be calculated. Now what is this ROI? We will be again maybe in the next session we will discuss this term in detail, but right now you just try to understand that in investment center ROI is calculated. ROI. How ROI is calculated, that we will see in the next session. We'll see that in next session. And the example is business unit. So again I repeat, in investment center, it considered not only cost and revenue but also assets employed in business. Therefore it is an extension of profit center. Extension का मतलब क्या है कि ये profit center से भी एक कदम आगे है. So it is giving us clear idea about the business unit. Profit center is also giving some idea about business unit, but investment center is giving more clear idea about a business unit center. क्योंकि इसमें हम we just not think about cost and revenue, but we are also thinking the assets which are employed in business. which are employed in the business. So this was about the investment center. So any doubt for investment center? If you have any doubt, we'll clarify. Otherwise, we'll go to the next center, responsibility center. We'll go to the next responsibility center. किसी को doubt है? Yes, please. Any doubt? Do you want to ask anything about investment center? Can you hear me? Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So any doubt for investment center? किसी को कुछ पूछना है क्या इन्वेस्टमेंट सेंटर के बारे में? Yes, please. Can I show you next slide? Okay. Now look at this, and then we'll Now, in regards to the committed expenses, these are the expenses that can be changed by the responsibility center manager during the financial year. Sorry, these are expenses that cannot be changed, by the responsibility center manager during the financial year, or expenses that can be changed only in extraordinary circumstances. Generally, these expenses never change. Though here it is mentioned that can be changed in extraordinary circumstances, but to the extent possible, these expenses are never changed. Now, say for example, if you have paid salary to the key person, now the key person has left your organization. Now, whatever salary is being paid to the key person, can we recover that salary from key person who has left your organization? Yes, answer me. Am I audible? Am I audible? Can we recover that salary which was paid to the key person? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So whatever salary we have paid to the key person, now that key person has left your organization. उसने जॉब छोड़ दिया आपके कंपनी का. अभी जॉब छोड़ने के बाद can you recover that salary from the person? हम सैलरी रिकवर कर सकते हैं क्या वो पर्सन से? वापस
नहीं,
ले
sir.
सकते हैं? नहीं.
नहीं, sir.
So this is the example of committed expenses. This is the example of committed expenses. एक बार दे दिया तो दे दिया, उसमें उसको हम अभी वसूली नहीं कर सकते. We cannot recover that amount. These expenses are known as committed expenses. Another example, depreciation. जो भी depreciation हमने assets पे लगाया है, so that depreciation we have shown in profit and loss account. बाद में we cannot change that depreciation. It is already charged. It is already charged. बाद में आप you can change the rate of depreciation. Maybe after some year you can change the rate of depreciation. But whatever depreciation you have charged in past, that cannot be changed. वो हो गया अभी, उसको हम बोलते हैं कमिटेड. एक बार कमिटमेंट कर दी तो कर दी. एक डायलॉग है ना हिंदी फिल्म में है, सलमान खान की फिल्म है, मैंने एक बार कमिटमेंट कर दी तो किसी के नहीं सुनता हूँ. लाइक दैट, एक बार कमिटमेंट कर दी एक्सपेंसेस की, then we cannot change, we cannot take it back that way. Committed expenses. So this was about the responsibility center. So we have completed the topic responsibility center. Before we end today's session, if you have any doubt, maybe in regards to the committed expenses or investment center or revenue center, please do ask without any hesitation. Do not hesitate. If you have any doubt, small doubt, or if you are not understood at any point, maybe from this committed expenses, please do ask.
Sir, till now we are good, I think. Yes, we understood.
Okay.
And sir, actually you
Very
have
good.
given good examples.
So thank
it's
you all
clear.
for attending session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your appreciation. So with this, we end our session. Have a good day. Have a good day. Bye.